You've brought us a tatty old bonnet, I have to say. Where'd you find this in a scrapyard?
Well, it might as well have been in one. It was on an Astra until Saturday morning. We took it off the Astra and brought it along
Somebody's
here.
driving around without a bonnet on.
We did replace it with an older one.
All right, well, that's not so bad then, is it? But this is, in fact, it's extreme of what can happen to a car bonnet, isn't it?
Yes, if you leave a car just out in the elements, this is what will happen. This is just not going to happen if you don't leave your car out. If it's in a garage all winter, it won't happen. But of course, if it's standing outside, as most people's cars do, paint gets like that.
Well, John's brought you a product called Diamond Glaze, and the difference that it can make to a car like this. Shall we have a look? Shall we reveal the difference?
Dare we?
Shall we? Go on
Dare
then.
we?
Go on then. Look at that! Now, honestly, this bonnet came off a car Saturday?
Saturday morning.
You haven't done anything to it?
No,
you haven't
haven't washed it or anything, no.
So
no.
this is honestly as it was. This looks like a different car. That's
what Diamond Glaze will do.
You better explain what it is and what it's going to do for you then.
Okay.
It's a two-part system, isn't it?
Yes, it is a two-part system. What we have right here, the larger can is called Diamond Glaze Phase 1. And that really is the process wherewith we remove all of the dead paint, all of the oxidization, and get the shine back just like it is there. We bring the car back to its original showroom condition with that one product.
That sounds a little bit harsh, though. Is it going to take the paint off my car?
No, it only will remove dead and oxidized paint. When you see in a little while, when we do this demonstration, you'll see red come off onto the cloth. Don't worry for 1 minute. It's only going to take the dead and oxidized paint. It won't take any of the new and good paint off at all.
Will it take brake dust off?
Yes, it will take brake dust off.
Will it take tar off?
Yes, it will take tar off.
And what about my alloy wheels?
In fact, if you put it on your alloy wheels, when you want to clean those alloy wheels, you just have to put a little bit of water on them or rub them with a damp cloth, and the brake dust will just fall off.
Okay, but we talked about surface rust, aren't we?
Yes. Yes, surface rust and rust that would. We've got a couple of little bits on this bonnet. You'll see there's one or two little rust areas. There's also cat paw marks where the cat walked over it. Obviously, in the life of this bonnet, a cat has been across it. And
afterwards, the cat will slip off, won't it?
The cat cannot stay on there. The cat cannot stay on there. It's not possible.
So phase 1 is to clean.
Yes, it is.
Phase 2 is to shine.
Phase 2 is to seal.
To seal, okay.
Phase 1 will actually put the shine back. Phase 2 is to seal that shine. And once that shine is sealed, you won't have to touch your car with either of these products for 12 months.
12 months, really?
Yes, 12 months. Just leave it be. And we put a 12-month written guarantee with every one of our customers. We've never had a comeback. Never had a comeback. It'll sit there for 12 months. It'll actually work for a lot longer than that, but we put 12 months on there because that's really what we can physically guarantee that it'll definitely
And what do you guarantee? That we're not going to see any more surface rust?
You're not going to see any more surface rust. You're not going to get the dirt adhering. You're not going to get the oxidization because once that final one on, which is this small tin, once you've got that on, that is putting a permanent membrane. Is putting a skin. That's why we call it car skin. It's putting a skin over there, and nothing can penetrate that known to man in the elements, such as the rain, the snow, the frost, the salt off the roads and things. So.
Would it be as well, I mean, if you don't have a car like this, maybe you've just been and bought a brand new car, could I use this on a brand new car? Would that be a benefit?
Oh, that would be the finest thing you could do to that new car, to put that on, because you would then have that new car looking like that new car for the remainder of its life. In fact, you can keep that new car in showroom condition the whole of its life with these products.
And with these two bottles, tins, how long will they last? How many cars can actually do?
You'll get an average of 2 medium cars out of these cans. So
and that's just
very sparingly,
application.
very sparingly. You don't have to use loads of it, as I'll show you in just a second. You don't have to use loads of it. It's used very sparingly, and you will get 2 cars out of it.
Let's have a look then. Let's see how we apply it.
Okie dokie. What we do is we take the tin and give it a real good shake. Okay. Most important, give it a real good shake.
Should we pick a really bad bit?
You tell me where you want me to clean.
Well, we've got a few scratches here, and we've got the cat footprint, so should we do that kind of area? And I'll tell you what, we'll take a picture of it as well, just so we can see the difference, okay?
Okay.
Right, so we need a cloth.
We just put a cloth on, and as I say, sparingly on there, not a lot on there. And then we do circular motions. And you don't have to rub hard. You can go, it's in fact, in your clothes right there, you're equipped to do this job. You don't need to put your overalls on and apply a little bit more. You can see really we're putting this through the test. Regularly you'd wash your car before you actually applied this, so you can see the dirt that's coming off.
Can we have a go at some of these scratches as well? Will it do anything for scratches?
Yes, it will.
See, that's really easy. And remember, this is a car bonnet that's got oxidisation, we call that, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So that's surface rust. It's got superficial scratches there. I mean, obviously, if you've got deep ridges or if your car's been in a smash, it's not going to mend it.
No.
But superficial scratches it'll help with,
It'll
won't
remove
it?
all of those kind of things, all the things that, that general wear and tear of a car will get.
Now, what about, let's give you some really, I mean, rust is bad enough, isn't it? But tree sap.
Yes, tree sap as well.
Lime, we call it, don't we? We have albatrosses where we live.
Albatrosses,
They're
okay.
very, very messy.
So you can see that's really bringing that up. That's removing all of the dead and oxidised paint. It's removing the dirt. In fact, we're really putting it through a test. As I say, we would regularly wash a car before we do that.
Can I have a go?
Yes, you can. You can start see now. That first, when we did the first, we were just removing the dirt, and now you can see we're removing that oxidised paint. So go ahead.
But that's only the bad paint. It's like exfoliating for your car, isn't it? Just removes the bits that you don't want there. So, oops,
There
that's
we go.
enough, isn't it?
You've got plenty there. Yeah, no problem.
I'll have a go on this bit.
So you're already a professional.
So look at that. It's almost just wiping away. But it's not scratching, is it?
No, it isn't. It isn't an abrasive product. Don't compare it with anything that would have an abrasive in there. So it's not cutting through the paint in any way, shape or form. It's removing just the dead and the oxidised paint. It's not doing anything that would be construed as damaging your car.
This is so satisfying, John.
It is a very straightforward job. It's in fact, your Sunday mornings will never be the same again, because once you've done it, you won't have to go out there in the mornings and clean your car again. In fact, if you want to keep it looking like this, just a damp cloth or a light hose, and that will keep it like that.
So no more car washing?
No more car
Sunday morning
washing.
queuing up?
No, you don't need to do it.
You're going to save yourself £24.99 from the car wash, aren't you? Is that enough?
Yes, it is. In fact, you can see right there. We can see all the dirt that's come off. In fact, all the dirt has been removed. If we then go into put on another piece of clean and just whip a little bit more, and I'll wipe that off from around the top of the tin.
Waste not, want
and we'll just take that there. You'll see some of the oxidised paint come off. We'll get a little bit of red on the cloth, and you'll be able to see that it's the dead oxidised paint, because we've removed all of the dirt, and now we're basically removing the oxidised paint.
But you're not leaving scratches anywhere. That's important, isn't it? Even you don't have to rub hard, but even if you did, there's nothing gritty or grainy in there.
No,
is
there's
there?
nothing gritty or grainy. You just need to. Yes, you can see now. It's not the dirt. It's you're getting a residue of the red, and that is the dead paint. And so you're not scratching. You're not cutting. You're not having to put a lot of elbow grease and energy in. That's why it's great for housewives to use, for youngsters to use. You could almost let your kids do it. And what we would suggest is what we've done there is we've done the phase 1.
Okay.
And we then would treat that with the phase 2 to get it like that. And what we would do really, if it's your own vehicle, you'd spend a little bit of time on it, because if you spent a little bit of time on it and really got it spot on, you would get it to look like that in no time at all. And for people that really want to protect their cars, they will spend a little bit of time doing that, because bear in mind, if you only do it once, you haven't got any other Sunday mornings to take up, you only do it once.
Well, once a year. It might even be longer than that, depending on, of course, whereabouts in the country you live and how much you use your car, I suppose, what kind of weather conditions we're up for. But once a year, you put the time, I was going to say the time and the effort, but there's no effort really, is there? You put the time in, you're going to bring your car up to showroom shine, as they say, but protect it, and that's important as well. So phase 2, how do we apply that?
The phase 2 we apply in the exact same way. Can needs a good shake.
Okay.
Can needs a good shake. And once we've shook that can, we apply that. Now, you can apply it with a cloth, or you can apply it with a little bit of foam. It needs to be a nice tight foam. Again, you don't have to put much on, just a little on the foam like that. And with this, it's just a little light touch. Just a little light touch, very, very gentle. You're basically applying the finish. You're putting the skin on. Just a light touch. In fact, I'd probably put it on even a little heavier than I needed to. And what you would then do, you would leave that to dry. And whilst that's drying, you can get on, in fact, if you'd done all of the bonnet, if we'd cleaned all of the bonnet, put that on, leave that to dry, and it goes to a white powdery. And as soon as that's dry, you can then rub that off with a clean cloth. But you could go to the wing of the car and start doing that. So
so this is going to take probably about 5 minutes to dry in the studio under the lights, and then will it just be shiny, or do we have to start polishing then?
No, we don't polish. We just rub it off and it'll be like that.
I mean, you think about the amount of money that we spend on cars, and not just what we spend on the cars, on the upkeep of the cars. It's a huge investment. You're protecting your investment. It's not investment. It's not just about making the car look good, which obviously it's going to. You're adding that protection for the future, aren't you?
You are. You're going to have a permanent shine. You're going to have permanent protection just for a few pence a day. So it really is an economic product.
And think long term again. How much do you spend at the moment in the car wash? You can spend £5 or £6 just to get a car wash once now. And on waxes, will I need to polish and wax ever again?
No, you won't. You won't ever need to do that again. In fact, 12 months' time, you can do the same process again. In fact, you might not even have to do it in 12 months. Depending on where you live in the country, you might not need to do it for a couple of years. In fact, we've had people as long as 7 years.
Really?
Yes. We've had people as long as 7 years.
Never having to clean your car for 7 years. Can you imagine that?
It's a wonderful thought. And the beauty of this is, because it's we talk a lot about carbon footprint today, you can clean your car then with just a damp cloth, and including your alloy wheels and getting that brake dust off, which is always a bit of a nasty to get off. People really scrub hard with a toothbrush around their alloy wheels. Once you've done this with your alloy wheels, the brake dust just falls off. Just put a little hose on there, it just falls off.
See,
wonderful.
Alloy wheels again. If on your car when you first buy it, that's all in the price as well. But if you've ever bought alloy wheels, they're hundreds of pounds. And as you say, you can scrub them, you can damage them. They are going to get covered in brake dust because that's what happens.
Yes, they are.
And even things like tar from the roads, or when the lorries have been out salting in the wintertime, all of these things are eroding your car, aren't they? They're eating into it.
We can do nothing about those kind of things. We have to put up with them, and consequently, that's what sometimes cars do end up like if we put up with them long enough and don't do anything about them. But if we can do something about it now, we've got the solution to the problem. You can have your car like that for the remainder of its life.